A big thanks to World of Warships for sponsoring today's video of me trying to save an old land yacht, which coincidentally appears to have been through quite a few battles as well. They have some awesome freebies for new players who register with the code PlayLangley2019 after downloading the game from the link in the description below. Fun fact about World of Warships: every ship takes roughly 6 months to create from scratch from start to finish. That's longer than my attention span usually when it comes to me keeping cars, so that's pretty impressive. In the game, you command a massive fleet of some of the most iconic warships that are extremely accurate to the real thing, with over 7 million other users. The game is a perfect mixture of action and strategy, and to get you started, we've got a bunch of freebies to get you into the action. Using the code PlayLangley2019, you'll get 300 doubloons, which are in-game gold, 1 million credits, which are used as currency, 3 days of premium so you can earn more XP and credits in every battle, and the premium Langley aircraft carrier warship, which is really cool. So click the link in the description below to collect your freebies and try out the game, which is free to download. Now back to battle-scarred land yachts. No, don't worry. I didn't break my New Year's resolution. The only reason that I would ever do that to you guys is if I got permission from the car gods like Jay Leno or Jeremy Clarkson. Otherwise, I'm going to try and stick to it. This is actually my friend Bob's car. He bought it a couple of months ago and completely forgot about it. It's a 2003 Jaguar XJ8, and it has 252,000 miles on it. It was traded in at this dealer here. Bob came and bid on it. He's a used car dealer. He bid $280, and he was the high bidder. He bid scrap money on this car and didn't expect to win it, and when he did, he kind of forgot about it. So he called me up. He knew I was having withdrawals on my Hooptie buying and said, "Hey, come look at this Jag for me. Take it out of the lot, drive it, see if it's worth saving." So it's kind of up to me and you all with this video if this Jaguar can live on or if it should die, because Bob also sells used parts, so this thing could get broken down into spares. It's a huge responsibility I'm having right now. Now, this Jaguar happens to be one of my favorite styled sedans of all time. Actually, all of my favorite styled sedans of all time come from this era of the 90s with Mercedes and BMW. When they weren't overstyled, blingy, crazy cars, they were just really stately and dignified, and for the most part, really angular in their design. This one's certainly more rounded with the headlights, but that draws back to the original XJ8 from the 1960s when they first started doing these XJ sedans. And after this, they got big and bloated, and other Jaguar models were Ford inspired, and really nobody wanted them. Nobody. It's really starting to snow. Now, I'm very familiar with these cars. I sold several of these when I had my dealership back in the day, and I also owned a couple of them. They were XJRs, the supercharged V8, and I love those cars so much because it's the kind of super saloon that you want, or at least I think people want. A lot of horsepower under the hood and decent performance, so when you push the throttle down, it really impresses your passengers of how fast it is, but still, smoothness and comfort is the most important part of a luxury saloon. And that's not compromised for performance at all. Modern super saloons, XJRs or AMGs or M cars, they're not comfortable at all. They're just built to go fast around a track, which really, I don't understand why anybody wants that out of a four-door sedan when they really are wanting luxury and comfort. But I'm on that rant again that I've done way too many times. This is the highest mileage XJ8 that I've ever seen. Most of them, unfortunately, didn't last that long because there were so many mechanical defects. Starting with the engine, the cylinder walls were lined with Nicosil, and that would break down and you would lose compression. It would kill the engine. If it survived that, then the plastic timing chain guides would break down, let the timing chain loose, and destroy the engine. Now, if the engine survived, then the transmission, it would have a drum fail and the torque converter would crack, and then you would lose your transmission entirely. And if the drivetrain proved to be reliable somehow, then electrical gremlins would totally knock you out. And since all luxury cars depreciate to where they're pretty much worthless after 15 years or so, like this one, only $280, it's not worth fixing them. So most of them by this time have been junked, unless it's an XJR or a really low mileage clean example. But 2003 was a really good year for these. This is when they sorted out almost all the issues, still the electrical problems, but it's a really rare year. This is the last year of this body style, and I think it was really getting long in the tooth, and people weren't buying them. They were ready for the next great Jaguar. So now it's time to decide whether this car should live or die, and I think we'll start with a walk around. Looks pretty good from this angle, but there are a lot of boo-boos on this thing. So like I said, the car's good side. It's got a little hickey right here. Tires don't look too bad. Very elegant car, for sure. A little bit of a scrape here. Definitely a nice ding there. And then it looks like he got in a fight with Wolverine at some point. Took a claw to that. The passenger side doesn't look as good. We're missing a mirror cover here. There's the mirror guts. Dented in fender here. Big scrape. We're missing a signal marker lens there. But inside, doesn't look too bad. Definitely some wear on the bolster. Fixed with clear tape. I haven't seen clear tape before. I've seen duct tape a lot, but yeah, not too bad in here. And amazingly, we still have electrical power. This car's been sitting 4 months, 252,000 miles, and look at this beautiful interior. The wood, of course, it has surface cracks, but look at this. And the clock. Going down to the stereo. A little dirty, but it definitely clean up. Alpine stereo. Back seat. Once again, it'll clean up. Now, I brought my jump box, assuming there was no way this thing was going to start after sitting for months. That's hard with any car, let alone a Jaguar with the electronics of a Jaguar. So this is going to be quite amazing if it actually starts. Everything's coming alive. What? It's turning over. It's trying. All right, we ran out of battery power. It was cranking. All right, let's jump. Batteries in the back. All right, gave you a little extra juice there. Come on. Whew! It's alive! You've got to be kidding me. The climate control's coming on too. I'll be. Quite a bit of smoke there. And we definitely have lights. Check engine, ABS, restricted performance, traction control, not available. A lot of these lights could be attributed to low voltage in the battery. But I can't believe it runs. Wow. That is smooth. 252,000 miles. Sounds just fine. And as far as puddles go for sitting for months, there's not too much under there. So I think it's safe to take this guy out for a spin. All right. Let's do a little putt-putt around the parking lot here. Seems to be running well. Back end's making a really weird noise though. Oh. What is going? Oh my God. That's not good. That's not right. Oh, what a stance. Stance Nation. Stance Nation. Okay, that is stanced. Wow. Clearly something's loose back there, but when I put it in drive and then roll the car forward, it quits being stanced. I don't know what's the story there. All right, parking lot doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. Whoa. So whenever I give it any kind of torque at all, and it puts torque on the rear wheels, The rear end spits out because that back left wheel is so loose. But it's not loose lug nuts. The whole hub itself is loose. We're gonna limp this one to the house. I'm not gonna go more than 30 miles an hour or so in case that wheel falls off. So here's the debate. Clearly this car has a lot of issues. A lot of issues. That rear end, something's badly broken. But people will get so mad if I say this car should die. But when you think about it, this car has so many valuable parts that somebody could use to keep their Jaguar that they really care about on the road, that it would die a worthy death. Still, I'm not going to give up on it just yet. I'm going to park it, and then we'll tow her up to the Wizards, see what's going on with this rear end, and see what's going on with all these codes. Wizard! I've got a bad wheel.
What the hell?
Yeah, what do you think of that?
Did you try to do three-wheel motion with it or something?
No, I bought it that way, actually.
You bought it that way?
Yes, well, I didn't actually, not even say that again, I didn't buy it that way. I say buy it, but I didn't buy it. I'm so used to saying that. I'm actually kind of like the foster parent for this car. Somebody else bought it for $200, and yeah, they wanted me to know if it's worth saving or not. Probably not with its, yeah, kind of.
It's doing a...
Ow. Yeah. Owie. But when you put it in drive, that's the thing, the wheel kind of corrects itself. See? Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Now it's fine.
I would say a control arm, one of the bushings is broke or something on it.
Right, well, it also has limp mode and check engine light and all that stuff, so hoping you could dig into it a little bit. I'll see if it needs to be saved or needs to be put down.
It may need to be put down.
Poor thing. Normal looking control arm here. Normal looking hub.
You can see it's ate up in here.
Yeah, from bouncing around. But what's causing it to bounce? Oh my God.
Oh, it's the wheel bearing.
So in the last few days, I've gotten some info on this car. And apparently it was traded in from Oklahoma City. They drove it all the way, it's about 200 miles from Oklahoma to Kansas to trade this thing in.
They drove it this way?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So the bearing like might have just completely fell out at this point.
Yeah, it's running on the aluminum.
Just running through. Huh. Wow.
Good Lord.
Oh.
How did it not kill those people?
I don't know. But eventually, it would have ran out of metal. And when it ran out of metal, then you would have ran out of car. That's unbelievable. Holy crap. So I guess a junkyard hub would fix that.
I bet the wheel speed sensor shot. And
Oh, that could be what's causing my limp mode, actually.
yeah?
Let's look underneath the rest of the car while we're here.
Okay.
And then we can plug it in and see what the error codes are.
Looks pretty leaky. The output shaft seals on the differential are leaking.
Oh, it's not bad. That's just seepage. Looks pretty good. Ooh, it's pretty wet there. What is that? Transmission mount covered in...
Yeah, the mount's okay though, but the transmission output shaft seal is leaking.
That's a pretty big leak. That's a really big leak.
And there's a engine oil.
Yeah, rear main seal area, and it's missing its access. But then when you get up to the engine oil pan, hey, that's pretty good. Engine runs well.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm seeing is just typical for the amount of miles that are
Yeah,
on.
it's not something you would fix. It's just normal seepage.
I wouldn't put any... If you wanted to resurrect this thing, I'd fix that, and we'll figure out the limp mode deal, and that's about as far as I would go.
So nothing terminal, nothing that you would want to put this car down, but
No.
with old Jaguars, the electronics can be can be a deciding factor on what to do with this thing. So we're going to plug it in and see what all the codes are for that limp home mode, because it could be a transmission problem, it could be a throttle actuator. There's a lot of expensive parts that could be causing this. Could be a wheel speed sensor from this, and if that's the case, then this thing might be coming back to life. Scanning. 6 faults. No transmission faults, that's good. 3 faults with the ABS.
That makes sense.
So far we're way less than the M5 when we started.
Oh, the M5 was like a laundry list. Knock sensors, wheel speed rears, brake switch, that's it.
Rear left, yeah, you think?
Yeah. Let's figure out the knock sensors, the brake switch, and this, obviously with this speed sensor, that probably take care of it.
So other than the obvious, nothing real scary on this thing, huh?
No, nothing that's like, oh my God, this is a, you know, needs to be buried.
Yeah, no, not digging a hole. So, yeah, this cat may have a bad hip, but a few little things. Yeah, it doesn't have rabies.
It is a hip replacement.
So we're not putting this cat down yet. How much do you think it'd be to fix it?
Probably fix that for $400 or $500.
With the wheel speed sensor and everything?
Sensor, a hub, and the labor, and.
Considering it's a $200 Jaguar, you're already tripling your investment right off the bat.
And then the knock sensors, see what that is, and I wouldn't think that unless it's something serious wiring, a couple $100 or so, $200-300.
Right. So you'd have a good running and driving Jaguar for under $1,000. But I don't own this car. I'm just the foster parent. It's just miserable. This just needs to stop. And somebody email Jay Leno for me or Jeremy Clarkson. Just can I meet them and just give me permission to buy a car again? Because that would be great.
I bought a car.
Yeah, you bought a car. Yes, a very nice car. So, yeah, everybody's buying cars. Tavares and Murcielago, everybody's buying cars. Ugh, but not me. Oh, well, yeah. So, to be continued on the Jaguar. I don't know what we're going to do with it. What do you think I should do with it? I know there's a 24 Hours at Lemons race coming up soon in Kansas, actually. There's also a rallycross season starting up not too far away from me. And this will be a pretty fun rallycross car, I would think.
Fun.
Yeah, V8 rear-wheel drive, do some drifting in the mud. Maybe I'll have to do like a rental contract or something. Lease it. Yeah, I'll lease it. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Lease it out.
Thank you for watching.